What you're about to see occurred on 3 different time points. Essentially, I just took all the clips together and basically put it in a concise video, just surrounding about removing the timing cover. I do have footage of me struggling on taking the timing cover off and eventually figuring out on how I got it out. That will be on a separate video. But this one is going to be just more concise, direct on how I got it off. On to the video. Alright. If you're going downstairs, wait, hold on, maybe let me get myself positioned more comfortably. Alright, here we go. Oh. Are you leaking oil? Oil. Why are you leaking oil? Oh, I'm going to put this back on. Put this back on. Oops. Alright. One thing I will say is, crap is in the car. Yeah, okay. One thing I will say is, another thing that you didn't see yesterday, well, one thing you didn't see was my struggle to get this bolt off. And yes, I know there is no gasket, because the gasket that was on it was pretty much destroyed by the last people who touched it. And another thing is this one, this filter, which should not be on that tight, was tightened like mad. I had to fight to get that one off. And I had tried to use a socketing wrench. Socketing wrench wasn't enough, so I ended up using a half-inch wrench with a reducer, and that was enough to get the bolt off. And hopefully I do have a picture of the carnage of the bolt after I got it off. And I did went ahead and tried to attempt to change the filter, but again, that one was under super tight. I had to go buy a tool, which is in my daily. Oh. I had to go buy a tool yesterday. The filter wrench tool yesterday, which is in the daily, and I forgot to bring my keys down with me. So it's in the car. I probably don't need it yet, but I will need it eventually. Wow, exposure is high. There we go. So yeah, I guess this is the washer that was on the drain bolt, or what's left of it. It literally looks like a freaking soda tab. And then what's even more disgusting was that there was a smidge of blue gasket maker on this, which was, yeah, as you can see, you really don't need it. I don't care what mechanics say this. which you don't need it. All right, for downstairs, there is this door that is being held by two 10mm bolts or Phillips screwdrivers, whichever one you want to use. You're going to go ahead and remove it, and that's going to give you access to this. And that will also give you clear access to your crank sensor and your harmonic balancer and the crank bolt. The crank bolt is a 20... yeah, it's a 22. The crank bolt is a 22mm. So the next thing you're going to do, you're going to go ahead and remove the crank bolt. Unfortunately, I do not have a tip on how to remove the crank bolt if you're just using hand tools. You are able to zip it off with an impact. But as for hand tools, you're going to have to figure out how to basically keep the crankshaft still as you're removing the crank bolt. Unfortunately, I don't know how. I cannot tell you how to remove it off if you're just using hand tools, but if you do know how to remove it by hand tools, put in the description below, or if I do figure out, I'll edit it in. But once you take that crank bolt off, the harmonic balancer should just slide right off the crankshaft. And while you're at it, you're gonna go ahead and remove the crankshaft. The crankshaft position sensor, which is held in by a 10mm. You're gonna take it off, put it off to the side. Why you need to do that? Because you're gonna have to remove the timing cover. And the timing cover, it is not easy to do, but it is possible. It's held in by 10mm bolts and 14mm bolts. The 14s are here, which is those two, and same thing will be on the other side. Let's see, we should be able to show you. Hold on. Should be able to see it. I believe I either took a picture or used the picture as a reference. But there are two 14s here and two 14s on the other side. They are held in pretty good, so you're going to use the cheater bar to take it off. You're going to remove that, and everything else is a 10mm. You're going to go ahead and just remove all of them all across the cover until you get to the bottom. Time to go back downstairs. At the bottom, you're going to continue working your way around, removing the 10mm that holds the timing cover in place. Now, this will differ between vehicles. On this vehicle, there is an engine mount that is here. Some I believe the RAV4s will not have an engine mount here. I believe if there is, it might be in this particular orientation. But for this vehicle, on this Camry, I don't know about later Camrys, but on this Camry, there is an engine mount that you will have to remove, because the final bolt is right there. Don't know how well you can see that, but it is right there. And to focus, and to remove the engine mount, you're gonna have to support the engine, and well, support the engine and also lift it from the oil pan. So if you have a piece of plywood or 2x4 and obviously a floor jack, you can make light work. Or if you are fancy and you have an engine lift, you don't need to remove it, just lift it up high enough in order for you to take that off. And once you get that engine bolt, once you get the engine mount off, you should be able to gain access to the last bolt, and then you should be able to take it off. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that right now. I will come back to you when I get the mount off. Alright, so the top bolt for this motor mount is a 19. So I went ahead and cracked it loose with the 3/8 and a cheater bar. No room for an impact, but the torque on the motor mount is not big. So I'm going to go ahead and take this off, put this off to the side. And the bottom are 17s, and they are 3 of them, one there, one through here, and one through there. And I would use this, I will use this, but I'm gonna go ahead and just zip it off because I have been working on this car for far too long. And this car has been sitting for far too long. Quick work. And then this one. That's off. Of course, I'm going to put everything in order. When I do take it off, well, I'm not going to take it off for a long time because I don't want the engine to be sitting on the block of wood for too long. So I'm just going to take this take the mount off temporarily, so I can go ahead and access the bracket bolts, which is one there, one here. And the last one is hidden behind this mount, which, if you can see, is right there. Yeah, so once those 3 mounts are off, I mean, once this is out and the bracket is out, I'll have access to the final timing cover bolt. And then from there, I'm going to pry the timing bolt, timing cover off. And once it's off, I'm going to put the bracket and the mount back on, and just let the engine rest on it, because I'm going to have to clean the mating surface, change the seals, and set the timing for this engine. All right, as you see, I got the bracket off. Has been held on by 3 14mm bolts. That has been held by 119 and 3 17s on the bottom. Again, you access to this final timing bolt. And if you are curious if you want to replace the control arm, the bolt is hidden right underneath the motor mount. Kind of an annoyance. But once we get this bolt off, the timing cover should come right off. And once I do get it off, I'm gonna put the bracket back on, put the motor mount back on, so the engine won't sit on the oil, so it won't sit on the block for too long, because I am running out of light.
3 weeks later.
And basically, to break it loose, it's like a couple of pry points. There's one like right here that you pry. You could also put the pry bar between the cam phaser and the cover, give that a good pry, and you basically just got to go around the perimeter. I mean, like if the engine was out, you I'm sure that there's like at least 2 points that you could pry from the back, but since the engine is still in the engine bay, you're just gonna have to go ahead and work around all the way around just to get the cover off. All right. Alright, so after a couple of wigglings, you can see I can't get it loose. So now what I'm going to do, pump, 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 pump. Just raise it up just high enough to where you feel comfortable. Raise up the engine just a bit. And I'm just going to go ahead and just take this off. Goodness. There we go. Let's see. It is. Nothing's touching it. Let's see. It is. Whew, Lord, if you could smell how. Like, if you could smell how sour this is like the smell alone is egregious. And you literally smell the vinegar. Not onions, but you smell the vinegar. So yeah, as you can see, naturally it just wants to go down. So in fact, I can't clear it all the way down means that I do not have anything. It's not up high enough. So I'm just going to go ahead and put that back and raise it up a bit more. Back on your tripod. Back on your go back on your. Why you never want to? Okay. So once we're done, you're gonna go ahead and lose weight because you got a lot of stuff in the back that's preventing me from putting you on this damn tripod. And crap, I was gonna say stroke. But we're not stroking it. We're just pumping it.
Giggity.
Pump, 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 pump. There we go. Now it's all nice and high. Now it's all nice and high. So now I'm gonna go ahead and just take it off. And as you can see, I'm gonna go ahead and just lean you forward a bit so you can see how I was able to get it off. Let me just lower you a bit. This is a lot of things there's no need for you to look all the way up there. Just look down here. Secure you. There you go. Alright, and now you're gonna watch me take this off. Taking it off through the bottom is a whole lot easier than taking it out through the top because of the AC compressor. And if I want to go and take the AC compressor all the way out, it's going to require me to evacuate the system, and I am not doing it. I am not touching the AC system. No. Now, if the AC system was already empty, that's a different story. But it's not empty. I'm not opening it up. I'm not venting into the atmosphere. I am a very environmentally safe guy. I don't want to harm the environment. So like, if you try to take it out to the top and you think about taking an AC compressor, take it to somebody and have it properly evacuated. If you want to take it to the top, but other than that, to the bottom we go. So I gotta raise the engine up a bit because it didn't want to clear the bottom. So you can see, out we go. Push it forward a bit, and down she goes. And boom, cover is out. I'm going to just sit you back up again and go for a ride. Oops, don't want to spin it too much. You see, she is right there. I'm just going. do that. Radio. And I'm gonna, and now